Hello nerds and welcome to the first Hytale video on this channel. This is tips and trips and that's not English, I don't know how to say, and random crap about Hytale that I figured out in my 1 hour of playing. Yes. Also, just before we start, YouTube has made some changes and now we, the creators, are fighting for 2 to 3 slots on long form in the front page. So please punch the hell out of the like button, hype the video if you're on mobile, and subscribe for more Hytale content. Yeah. Alright, so let's start with the function keys. F1 makes the game faster. F2 makes it slower. F3 makes collisions on or off for basically spectator. F4 doesn't work currently, I do not know how to access the permissions yet, I don't know even if they're in the game. F5 doesn't really do much. F6, they reload the textures. F7, alright, so this is normal gameplay. If you press it once, you get your coordinates, the block that you're viewing and their coordinates, and which chunk you're on. Alright, so yeah, those are really good informations. Yep, that's how you say it. And then if you press F7 once more, you get basically the F3. It's not that good, it only tells you your specs basically, and for your word you get your position, your chunk once more, where you're looking. The biome does not currently work, but it is there. And a bunch of other stuff, as you can see. If you press it once again, F7, it goes away. Oh, you can also see your FPS, which is really cool. Then if we press F8, this is basically our Minecraft F1. You get rid of the HUD, but you can still see your character in first person. You can see I'm punching things, get destroyed. And if we press it once more, nothing appears to happen, but now I'm clicking and my hands are not visible. So basically you are disabling your first person model. And if we press it once again, we get our HUD back again and you can do it all over. Now, moving on to F9, I don't know what it's doing, maybe it's doing nothing. F10, again nothing. F11 is, F11, and F12 you take screenshots, which I believe go to your screenshots folder in app data. If you know, you know. Basically the same way that Minecraft works, I believe. You can correct me in the comments. Also, obviously when you press V, you will realize that you go into third person and it's actually playable. Unlike Minecraft, this game is playable in third person. You might prefer it in some PvE or PvP, I guess, scenarios. But you might notice that if I press it again, I toggle from first person to third person. How do I look at myself? No, this is horrible. Well, for that you press C. And you can see that it is extremely awkward and I cannot zoom in or out. I'm pressing like buttons, nothing happens. But I found something interesting. If I hold the sword, if I hold the weapon, like you see that the camera is the same on the C mode when you press the button C. But if I hold the weapon and I press shift and I scroll, I can zoom in. And then it pops right back out. So I've reported this issue to the devs, if it is an error, but basically when you hold the weapon you can zoom in and out. So yeah, that is something that happens in that mode. Like in Minecraft, if you press in the scroll wheel, you pick the block. Hey, amazing. Also, just like Minecraft, if you crouch, you cannot fall off ledges, but surprisingly, if there is a block below, it just automatically does it for you. Why? Why would you do that? Anyhow. Another thing is that you jump way higher if you hold down the spacebar. You can see we jump approximately 3 blocks, but if I just press it once, we only jump 1. So keep in mind you have to hold down spacebar if you want to go higher. So this is me tapping it, and this is me holding it down. Amazing things. Also, don't make fun of my avatar. I just made it. Alright, so the best way to kill anything in this game is to charge up your sword and just dash through them and keep going. Most mobs, obviously this guy will not hit us, we're in creative, but most mobs cannot hit you. There are some, I don't know how many there are, but there are some mini bosses that can hit you, specifically one, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but specifically one mini boss can hit you because they have a spin attack, but as long as you dash and keep going, and dash and keep going, you are safe. I don't know if this will get patched, it's just a PvE thing. Also, if you're sprinting and you hold down your crouch button, you will perform a slide. Normally, with a bow, when you charge it back, you get more damage until this thing is glowing, and when you let go, you fire. Alright guys, I want to show you a tip about arrows, but apparently they do not work in creative. Right now I'm legitimately trying to use it, but it does not want to fire. Nope, it just does not work. So let's report it. So I guess fun fact, if you find anything, you can just click this guy and you can say if it's a bug report or feedback. In Hytale, you cannot place blocks like in Bedrock. You have to do it like you do on Minecraft with Java. But this also means that you can perform speed bridging. Obviously, it's really hard, guys. Don't judge me, right? This is extremely hard. The walking speed is extremely slower than in Minecraft, so you're gonna have to get a bit used to that. Up, now we're going places. Never mind, alright. Also, another fact is that if you try to pillar out like this for building, this gets placed instantly, like in Minecraft Bedrock kind of. So if you want, for example, to build a square here, I can just hold down right click and it will do it for me basically, as long as I'm aiming. So yeah, if you play Bedrock, this is basically in Hytale. Players that bought the game in early access will get access to this cape if they pay for the normal edition. It's called Early Access Standard Edition, and the rest of them will be gotten, accordingly. Also, customization was a huge issue for me personally in this game, and to be honest, I do not like what is going on here. There are many options. There are many options for hair. There are many options for eyebrow. No, actually, for eyebrows, these are all. For eyes, these are all the options. These are all the options for beards. This is it for hats. Obviously, you have to go with a crown, man. These are all the accessories so far, which you obviously unlocked some if you get the Curse Breaker edition. And then you can have also earrings. Another thing, our character has two layers. You have one shirt layer and one coat layer. And then you obviously have gloves, which I completely forgot to add, so let's just add some. Then you have the socks, which has like knee pads, which is a bit weird. But anyhow, yeah, you have socks and then you have the actual boots, which you have again, once more, many options, many cool ones. And then you have all the special ones. Honestly, I have no idea if you're gonna be able to get them after early access, but I guess not, and it will be for the better if we can't. They have some rarity to them. Since we are on the main menu, you can see that we have worlds, which you can basically select your previous worlds, and here you have mini games, which are not here, servers. You can imagine how this will work, but they're not here. Then you can change your avatar, which this is a bit excessive because it's already in the main menu, but it doesn't hurt. And then you have all your settings, which we're not really gonna be going in this video except for one thing, which is you can make the game feel exactly like Minecraft with one exception, which is the fact that Q is binded to your special attack, and G is to your drop. So if you want, you can switch them, but I think that Q being the special attack is really important, especially if you play PvP. So if we go over here to the controls, you can see how I have my controls and you can copy them if you want. Obviously your hotbar slots are completely personal. And you can also switch all your function keys. Also, you can spin your avatar in the main menu. Only in the Z-axis though. Whenever you create a new survival world, you will be spawning here. This is a little starting area, I don't really know the lore about it. But yeah, basically you're gonna be able to play the video game. Yeah, you start from here. And from there you can go on exploring. But how do you find your way in this game? Well, if you press M, you pop out your map. And you can see that you cover a huge area and you can see everything important. On your map, you're gonna find this here structure, but I'm gonna let you find on your own what it is and what it does. I'm gonna try to keep this as spoiler free as possible. Also, throughout Hytale, you're gonna see on the map these things right here that are gonna be random structures, and with right click you can obviously just place a marker. I tried it in survival and it does not appear anywhere, and when I close the map, it disappeared like it did now. Yeah. So I don't know if they're gonna do anything, but it appears that if I do teleport in creative mode, we just appear here completely seamlessly. Obviously you're gonna have to load the chunks, which it can create a bit of lag, but other than that, it's extremely seamless. This certain mob might seem friendly, but when you hit it, it does not cower and run away. Instead, it has an attack with its back legs, which I don't think that I can showcase in creative mode, sadly, and I do not have permission to change game modes. But yeah, in general, keep out when you're hitting things, they can hurt you either way. Also, in case you people were wondering, if you go ahead and grab ourselves a torch, if we go ahead and craft ourselves a torch, you can see that the character is holding it in the offhand, even though it's on the normal bar here. So if we grab a pickaxe, you can see we're holding it in the right hand, and the torch gets held in the left hand. But if we press Z, we have this directional wheel. If we go on our inventory and we drag the torch here, you can see that this thing gets highlighted. We can place it here and we can select which slot it goes to. If we put it here, now we keep holding it. You can hold down Z and get a directional wheel, which you can guess no item if this was filled or just select an empty slot. This is done like in Rockstar games, which basically means that you hold down the Z button, you hover over the item and you let go of Z. You don't have to click, you don't have to do anything. Apparently, in this video game we have the boat and we have the rail cart, which you can place rails down, you can get in, and then you can go back and forth. Currently it's not the most polished thing, but I guess these things will get fixed. And yes, the rails do connect. Also, I'm guessing minecarts are entities since even in creative mode, currently if you punch them, they take more than one hit. Also, if you see this icon on the top left of the screen, it means that the game is loading something which creates a bit of lag. The rails in this game can basically function like Minecraft rails, and they always go in the direction that you're pointing. Also, this is interesting. I do not know if if this is a glitch, but actually let's test it out. Alright, so let's try it out. Let's see what will happen. Apparently we get trapped into a circle. Also, another fun fact is that you can drive minecarts anywhere, but on the same axis that you place them. Amazing stuff. Also, sprinting doesn't do anything. Also, the boat is completely decorative at this stage of the game. I'm pretty sure that they will have a thing that works. Maybe I'm missing something, but I think this is just decorative. Different items appear to have different stack sizes. For example, utility items, let's call them, I don't know how they're called in the game, are only stackable by 1. Food is normally 25 and blocks are 100. Also, in this game you cannot use a furnace to cook your food. You can place some logs here or fuel, but as you can see, no matter what, I cannot place food inside here. Instead, you have to build something like the open campfire, which then you can place this thing, and then you can place the other thing, and you can turn it on, and it cooks. Also, you will realize that you can put 2 things here, and you cannot put 4 things here. This actually has a chance to give us charcoal. I do not know if the charcoal appears completely randomly, or it's like every time a block burns, although it did not happen, or if it's like how many items, but again that did not happen either. Also, we do not have a clear indicator on when we're gonna stop cooking, which is a bit weird. Inside your inventory, if you have your hotkeys set, surprisingly I did not expect this, you can just move around your things, but it's still a bit glitchy as you can tell. I did not expect this because in other video games, survival games, this usually gets added later on in development, and right now I'm doing it without like actually clicking on it, but since these 2 are mouse buttons, it thinks that I'm clicking on it, which is a bit weird. I have not seen this bug in other games. In order to get, the more pretty blocks, instead of just having a log to build your house, you can use this station right here, the builder's workbench, in which you can just place your block here and every single option comes up. So for example, if we put only 1 log in here, we're gonna get 2 slabs. And then you have your beautiful slabs. Oh, which I did not know this actually. New fact, they do not work. But I'm gonna let this slide now because you can place slabs vertically. So yeah, we have vertical slabs. Also, something that surprised me a bit is that when you cook pork or cow meat or chicken or whatever, you don't get that meat cooked, instead you get cooked wild meat. Good news here, if you want to play with friends, all you have to do is press escape on your own world, click online play and activate this. Once you activate it, you're gonna get a code and you can share it to your friends and everything will be amazing. And you might be asking, how could these people make free online play? I mean, you have to buy the game, but you get what I'm saying. You have free online play, but Minecraft doesn't, and many other games. Well, my friends, this is because Hytale uses a thing called peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer means that basically you do not use a server at all. There is no server being used in any way. Instead, what you do is actually you connect to the PC of the person hosting the server. The server in quotes, because it's not really a server. But this sounds amazing because your PC basically becomes a small server for your friends to join for free. But the downside is that unless Hytale has a system where the world gets shared, then changes to the world happen only when you run the actual world. So basically, the host will have to be online for people to play on that server. And the other big problem is if you're extremely far away from somebody, for example, if you live somewhere in Europe and the other person is somewhere in America, which is extremely common, then chances are that no matter how good internet you have, there are gonna be some slight issues. And also, if you have a potato PC, you're gonna get a bit more lag spikes if you are hosting, so get the person that has the best internet and PC to host. Again, maybe Hytale has some advanced systems, but I highly doubt it. It's really hard to program good peer-to-peer. But don't worry at all, since we obviously get servers either way. But this is an awesome free alternative and I'm very happy to see it. Also, if this video gets views, please Hytale team, make the C button be a bit zoomed out. This is horrendous. Thank you in advance. In Hytale, you can parkour up to 4 blocks, which is really cool. I did not expect them to let us climb so many blocks, but this is extremely cool. Ladders are also a big miss in my opinion. So basically, when you hold W and you look up, you will go upwards, amazing things. But if you look straight and you hold W, nothing happens. You can just look slightly forward to see what is going on, but this is extremely awkward, especially in high, like intense things. Also, you can look wherever you want, but still you have to look upwards in order to go up. And the weird thing is that I really think they will change this. If you press S, this gets inverted. If you look up, you're going down, and if you look down, you're going up. Which, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, this is so weird to play with. But you can always just jump and be a bit awkward. Again, please fix or change, I guess, because it works properly, but you have to change it, please. Yeah, my character is mad. Look at him. Yeah, look at what he's doing. Anyhow, there are many sets in this video game, and some of them have specific things that you get. One really notable one is the diving suit, which basically gives you oxygen. So if we go ahead and wear the set, you can see that we are now wearing this armor set. Also for items like the flippers, I guess they will be showing the pants in later versions, and also they will be getting rid of capes, I guess, for the backpack thingy. I don't know, but yeah, the pants need to show, man. This is embarrassing. I'm getting embarrassed in front of my subscribers, hopefully. Not hopefully, you get what I mean. Subscribe to my channel. You can spin your character in your inventory. Amazing stuff. Also, your inventory character acts exactly like the character in game. So for example, if I go ahead and start falling, you can see that my character does exactly the same animations. In this video game, there are many really cool beds that you can find. So this looks really cool. Once you interact with a bed, you're given the option to name this bed. So I'll just give it a random name here, and once you do that, you can see that it says you have set a new respawn point. Subscribe, you nerds! So when you interact with it, it's gonna be like, you may sleep starting at 9 PM, and it tells you in how many minutes. These are obviously in-game minutes. Alright, so you can see that now it is in 25 minutes. Now you see in 15 minutes. And I'm guessing that it's like 1 second in real time, it's 1 minute in game, as you can tell. Yeah, I might be wrong, but it seems like 1 second in real life is 1 minute in this thing. Alright. So this is the sleeping animation. Basically everything fades to black and you wake up. And if we break this, then obviously we're not gonna respawn. But if we don't, then we're respawning in our bed. Also bad timing since we just slept, but this game has color lighting. So check this out. Alright, that was a poor choice of things because that is just... it's a bit green, yeah, you can see it, it's a bit green. And then we have the torch, no, never mind, it's not. I'm gaslighting you guys, it's exactly the same. But, for other items, you have like a bluish hue to it. Like you can see how this is blue, kind of. This gives a bluish tint. Also, another extremely fun fact is that if you are holding an item and you get really close to something, you will pull back that item. You can really see this if we use something smaller, like for example if we use the torch, it gets completely off screen. this is not edited, why is it so slow? Never mind, you get the point, you get how this works. Another thing that I cannot really showcase because I'm in creative and it's pain, dude. I don't know how to activate commands. I should be knowing these things. I am the YouTuber here, but don't judge me, alright? Do not do that. Alright, so normally you know how you break things. You like do that. Alright, I'm in creative. But basically, like in Minecraft, when you hold down the button, you keep breaking that same block until it breaks. But in this game, you can like do a tier. Actually, I'm just gonna put some footage of it. I'm gonna record it later. You can basically hit one block and then let it go for a bit, like do something else for a few seconds and then come back to it and continue breaking that block. Which can lead to some funny things, I guess. But do not worry if you accidentally hit like something, it is not permanent, obviously. After a few seconds, it repairs itself. Unless obviously it's fully broken. Also, here's another color lightning block, the mushrooms. And another cool thing is that, ores have this cool tint on them, this really cool glow. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's pretty clear. They have this cool glow. And unlike Minecraft, when you break them, this will not happen because we're in creative, but they will drop this block right here. They're gonna drop basalt or whatever block they're in, and their actual ore. Alright, so this was not planned, but I'm trying to escape here. I can just no clip, but I tried breaking things, and you are really limited on how fast you can break in creative mode. Please, devs, why would you do that? Like, you can break this fast. I'm jitter clicking, I'm holding down click, it's just the same thing. Also, something really annoying that you might have caught is that the smoke for the torch is just a 2D animation that is stuck on that side of the screen. For example, when I'm gonna stop holding the torch, these things just get stuck on the screen. Which I'm guessing they're gonna fix because this is extremely annoying and not realistic in the slightest. Although this is funny block game. But you know what I'm saying, dude, you know what I mean. I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot about that. It was supposed to be one of the first ones, but when you break a log, the rest fall. So it takes longer to break logs on this game, but when you break one, everything falls. Foliage interacts with you like some cool Minecraft shaders. And this goes to basically all foliage. Look at the leaves. Also, the leaves have no hitbox, but yeah, I guess it could be cool, although I don't know how to feel about it. There are many different interesting looking chests in this game that can spawn naturally and they usually have loot inside them. The only ones I found is this one, yeah, and that's it. I only found these two naturally spawning, but I believe all of them spawn because this is called the goblin chest. And most of them have a double chest version, as you can see, just by placing them. This is obviously a double chest on its own. But yeah, this one is fancy, it's like a nice thingy, and obviously you can put things in. Also, you might have noticed by now, but when you hold a block, you actually hold a block. Yeah, you're not like, it's not like in Minecraft, you actually hold it like kind of physically. I mean, it's still not the same size, obviously, but it's a cool little animation, and you actually hit with it. So you can hit people with chests. So we previously mentioned that you can hold a torch with your offhand, and you can hold something else in the other arm and it works perfectly fine. But if you hold something that hypothetically needs two arms, you let go of the torch, even though in this view you're only using one of your arms. In third person you use two of them. The same goes with two-handed weapons. Also, a small nitpick, but I find it really annoying, when you press down the Z and you get this menu, you can use it just fine, but if I close the HUD and I try to use it, it just does not work. It doesn't work. Like you can see, I'm doing it as best as I can, and it just does not work. So please fix. The game should not just stop working because UI does not show up, but maybe it's a pain in the ass, so maybe don't. But if it's easy, please do. I'm not really an expert on UIs. Oh, look at this, we found a chest. And this is completely random, I did not script this, I just saw the house in the distance and we got all those crazy things. Every time you discover a new biome, that little animation and sound plays. Also, snow exists, or ice, yep. Also, just like in Minecraft when it first came out, you did not have water buckets here or anything, you just have water. I'm holding a water block. Yeah, this is supposed to be a water block. And the same goes with fire. I just have fire. The idea of fire, I guess this is. And you can tell I really hate this water. It's probably getting changed, but you can see how blocky it is. This is mid, to say the least. So this is the world that I play in survival. I still didn't make any armor or anything. Also, maybe in the background it was spoilers. Don't mind it. Sorry. Also, another thing that is not cool is that you cannot pick up your arrows. Once you've shot them, you cannot take them back. Also, I have sprint on toggle because that is the best way to play video games, but for some reason, if you do a slide, it cancels out your sprint, so you need to press it again. So keep that in mind. I do not know if on hold it works. And the last interesting thing about this video game is gonna be that they're gonna be adding Technoblade. So